a serial visitor to Radio Entrepreneurs.
Yes, because I'm very passionate about entrepreneurs, very passionate about the radio station. I love your content, and I think it's fantastic, so thanks for having me back.
You're wonderful. Great. Laurissa, you have a series of topics you'd like to talk to us about today and inform our listeners about. Would you do that? But make sure you talk closely into the mic.
Okay, so how's this? Good?
Much better.
Okay, good. So what I'd like to talk about is the staffing and recruiting industry here. It's sort of like a canary in the mine shaft. It sort of gives you an idea how things are going before a lot of the other numbers come out. We know that so far in Q2 manufacturing is down, but there's a lot of indicators that show it's not as bad, especially in what I call our Massachusetts bubble here. So Bullhorn, which is a Boston-based applicant tracking system that a lot of recruiting agencies use, just released their 2012 survey. And it talked about, at the beginning of 2012, what recruiting agencies, and these are just really recruiting agencies themselves outside of internal departments, were thinking would happen with the economy and what kind of hiring they were doing internally. So again, I think that it's sort of like a really good indicator. If recruiting agencies are hiring, they're expecting to see more jobs on the front coming up. And it's true in some sectors, and it's not true in others. So that's one thing I'd like to talk about. I'd also like to talk about technology and how I call it recruiting 2.0. So how we really need as an industry, and we are taking huge steps, not just with social media, but with technology companies and technology devices to help us do our job better, to serve our client companies better, to connect with them better, and to also connect with the candidate base better.
Great. So you want to start on the first one?
Sure. So when you talk about, where were recruiting agencies looking at? We're coming out of, sort of a tailspin the last couple of years, 2008, 2009, really dismal, 2010, which I think is when I started on this show, much better. And 2011 was much better too. So if you look at just what are we earning? So what are recruiting professionals in general earning now? The average for 2011 was $136,000. And that's up from 2010, where it really hovered more around the high 120s, maybe in the low 130s. But it has risen a little bit, and the good news is it has not declined. So we only make money when we make placements, right? So that shows that there are more jobs being filled, and recruiters are making more money. So that's good. And another indicator is, what are staffing agencies expecting to hire for their own departments? What are they expecting to hire for themselves? So the overwhelming majority of staffing agencies that Bullhorn, and this is a Massachusetts-based company, but they do service recruiting agencies all over the nation. Most of the recruiting agencies were looking to bring on additional people to service what they thought were new jobs coming in. So I think that's really promising.